So I don't know if this will work or not. So this is either Cypress or Sapele or Yellow Pine. I don't know. I tried to look at the store the other day to match it up, but the grain is just too similar, I guess. Maybe you tell me when I cut it. It smells really bad. It's like sandalwood times 10. So don't take it all the way down. That's it right place. Not too much because and then you wonder, I don't know. I just don't mind doing it. What that's good for sound. Anyway. The camera doesn't fall. Just got it. So if you don't know, I'm going to mount the faceplate on that open side of the bowl, and then this side's going to get a tenon, which is just a post, and then I've got another chuck that I'll put on there to put that post into, so I can flip the bowl around and carve it out. Forward, okay. Hey, slowing. Just kidding, it doesn't go that fast. And this is sized to my the chuck I'm going to put the tenon in. And then it's spinning this way, so I just put the left side of this down. And then kind of line it up and make a mark. And it's one of the little bejesus on it, so maybe I'll sharpen it on a video or something. Okay, here goes nothing. So the tenon comes out here, and then you want to give it a shoulder to rest on, because the tenon's going to go in these claws, and then that shoulder can sit right on this top part here. So you can imagine you're giving it like a resting spot. I'm not going to do much on this because all this stuff I got's really thin. so you don't have a lot of room. And then when you're all done and you reverse it, and I'll try to show this, you can make a foot out of the shoulder if you want. So maybe I should cut it a little deeper. We'll see how it goes. I don't sew them, so I don't have to make sure that it stands up straight yet. And that chatter is because I was afraid of the bandsaw when I cleared the blanks off, so they're wobbly because I just cut straight lines through them. I didn't really try to cut them in curves. Maybe someday I'll be able to. This is usually about when somebody comes out here and asks me for a hide someplace. I'm going to make them. And this wood cuts so quick that I'm afraid to put the crown of this gouge into it very much. So it's just striking. Which is also when I'm sticking with it so much. Because I'm not trying to take a really big bite. This would be nice when if I cut myself, I can just edit it out. Or not. All right, well, we'll see you in a little while. Bye-bye. I can see down through it as it's spinning, and I've got a little shiny thing down there on the front of the lathe that I put right there so I can see it, and I know if I'm imagining things or not that thing. That's shiny too, but that's a collector's item now because I heard they went out of business. Right about now would be the time that my tool rest moves. you can see here on the backside it's starting to square up. And it's kind of like talking to a 12-year-old. You never go straight at it. You're always kind of closed or half open or upside down, or sometimes I try to use this end. Doesn't really work. I like to make pies first. And, things kind of got, time moves pretty quick and whatever. And so, Merritt asked me to go out and get rid of the swing set. So I didn't have any tools at the time. I was terrified of power tools. So, but we did do some arts and crafts, and I had a Dremel. And so, I got a 50-foot extension cord and ran it out to the swing set, and I took my Dremel and I used those little cutting bits to just shear out, because all the screws had fused together and rusted, and the paint was all flaking off, and when somebody was gonna get tetanus out there. And it probably took me 4 or 5 hours to take the swing set apart. And I learned how to use a Dremel pretty well. You can sponsor me, Dremel, if you want. If you like Bosch tools. So it's kind of cool. This is from painting. When you're painting, you can lay a pipe across your canvas, and so you can anchor your hand. And you're using your whole arm, obviously, or not obviously, but whatever. You're using your whole arm when you're painting if you're doing it right. And but you can anchor like a fulcrum. And this tool rest works kind of that way, I found, where instead of just trying to do a sweeping cut right across the tool rest, you can actually create little curves by just turning this way. And I don't want to be way down on the hand because I don't want to have to accidentally get leverage on this. Well, I'm not going to try to move the camera to show you it. I got this nice little shapes make noises. Shapes and sounds. So then I'm going to create a little bit of another swoosh up to the ring. And I see people sometimes, and I'll learn when I take a class, I'm sure why, but sometimes they'll cut towards themselves, and I don't like that, but I can see the utility of it. And when you're doing like a groove, you cut down on one side and then down the other side. I don't know how to do it. You hear people talk about the devil, and when I first was starting, I would just try to jam this thing into the wood and but if you put this like right against the wood grain can't grab the blade and throw it around on you. So you kind of have a little bit of, come easy on it. You can kind of set it down and open the fruit up a little and say, oh no, that's not golden. You can't see a thing down here. That's all I'm looking at. I know, but over there, I can see what's happening. Down here, it's just a glare. It's just sawdust. I think I'm watching it. That's what you're saying. Here. I had to go over to the bank today, so I was talking to the lady, so I took an older piece of it to give to the lady at the bank. I swear to God, she looked at it like it was macaroni. She was pretty gracious about it. She accepted it. She put it on her desk. She even put some cream in it. Pretty neat. This is an oval skew, and I hate it, but I can't justify buying a straight one just yet. It's oval this way, so when we're using it, it has a tendency to kind of It's kind of cool because when you're doing ceramics, you have to wait 2 days to do details. There's just nowhere to speed it up. You gotta let it play dry. But good, you do. No, little mega detail. There's nobody watching. Gotta get one of them cutting tools. One now. You got nothing. You got this piece of crap, this piece of crap. My boss would be angry if I didn't talk in time. He'd be right to be angry. No such thing as problem. Simple business. This monster is a negative rate strictly. The negative part is that this fellow and this and this thing. When you put it on wood, it does amazing things. Sometimes it needs spaghetti. But now it's making sounds. Screw that. Watch the guy do this with a screwdriver. You just put it on the metal. You kind of shriek when you see it. If you know how long it takes to sharpen this fucking piece. No spaghetti today. Well, the first one's going to suck anyways. I had to reset the camera. Died. This is about usually where I bungle things. I'll stop it and it'll be split in half already. I've just been doing nothing for half an hour. You've been making so much, right? Well, it's wrapped. So I came in and out with the gouge, and it made a surface that's hard to grab a hold of, so I have to get the scraper. And take the bottom down there still. pretty cool when that works. I'm afraid to go too far down. I'll move through the bottom of the bowl and move you bags. Haven't quite recovered. And like cross hatching. And then take the striker. I don't know. Probably not in that chuck square. Maybe. This is the part I get. These are funny. Wow. You should get a pair of IsoTunes. IsoTunes, if you want to sponsor them, you can. I got to get rid of the evidence. Hang that drum, boss. There. She doesn't look like total crap. Could be a little thinner. Okay. I'm not using the carburetor. It's just making. Using the edge of a quarter to do this. Wait. Carbon more mystery wood. Everybody thinks they're talking to me. Now I have a problem. Like I'm swimming underwater with my head on backwards. Shoulder be gone! That crack was not further in. So you gotta fix it. Well, good. Somebody's probably saying, why don't you just use the round scraper? But the round scraper and I had an argument. Not here anymore. We're back in the sheets! Uh-oh. That noise! I don't know if it's a fit. Better to put some rubber bands on it. Might be a real puzzle. We gotta make sure it adheres, you know. We gotta glue it on. Turn down temperature. I'm gonna use the smaller one. And I can pull this right off if I'm not careful. It'll probably come off. That'd be awesome. Let's make it for good content. Can't be helped. So I don't know how to fix it. It'd be funny if there was some unwritten rule where, like, you never show cleaning the foot. When you're training in ceramics with somebody who's really good, like a master level ceramicist or whatever, this is all you do is clean feet. You fasten bowls back to the back and clean feet for 4 hours. It's really amazing how similar this is to ceramics in general. And we'll get back on the road and get a little more. On the line. Need to sharpen this. This is just a stick, and I took one of these things and I screwed it into the thing at an angle. Squeeze. Cool. Pie plate for a kerchief box, maybe. Tomorrow, or later maybe, we'll cut this to fit on top of it. Or maybe I'll find a better piece. There might be a better piece over there. This is kind of beat up. Yep. Okie dokie.